Hello, and welcome to the new Mindscape. In the previous video of this series, I invited you to imagine your future, to plan for your future, and to nourish that imagination and that plan as objects of consciousness in your mindscape. We talked about the power of thoughts and the power of imagination. And now I'm going to talk about another important power, which is faith. None of the goals that you wrote down in your plan exists. So these goals are pure figments of your imagination. But you're going to turn that imagination into reality. And a necessary condition for this is faith. You're going to do it because you have faith that it's possible. If you don't have faith, if you have no faith, you won't do anything. So your faith will empower your goal, which will empower you and make you change your reality. If you don't have any faith, your goal will be weakened and it will disempower you and you won't change anything. So what can give you faith? The first source of faith is your own experience. So for me, as a child, I was awful at sports and physical education. So I had no faith in my body and I ignored it completely, focusing only on my intellectual development. But a few days ago, I decided to start exercising at the gym. I had little faith in my ability to train, but after doing it for a few weeks, I started to see the difference. I had succeeded. And so now I had faith and I was more confident to continue. So that's faith that comes from personal experience. A second source of faith is your companions, so other people who've accomplished the thing that you want to accomplish, or others who are striving to do it together with you. So think of a sports team. Everybody's training together, learning together, and encouraging each other. Some of the players with more experience give tips to the more junior players, and so they help them and give them confidence. A third source of faith is teachers and mentors. Teachers teach what is needed to reach the goal. They can instruct you on the proper steps, they correct you when you're going the wrong way, and they help you to advance further. And a fourth source of faith is role models. So these are people who have accomplished what you want to achieve, and you want to be like them. Role models could be others in your group, or they could be friends or more senior family members, or they could be people that you've heard about or read about. The role models could be real people that you personally know, but they could also be historical figures. Or they could even be fictional heroes from films or novels or anime. Or they could be from myths or religious history. Who are your role models when you imagine yourself in 10 years? Or when you give yourself goals for the next year for your body, your mind, and your spirit? All of these people in your mind, your past self, your companions, your teachers, and your role models, they're all objects of consciousness that you empower and who will empower you to reach your goals. The more you remember them and think about them, the more they will inhabit your mindscape, helping you to reach your dreams. The more they're alive in your mind, the more you imagine yourself with them, you hear them talking to you, you think of how they respond to you, the more they'll have a positive influence on you. But it goes the other way too. Often, what stops you is voices in your mind telling you, well, that you can't do it, that it's foolish, that you're going to fail. These thoughts come from your past experiences of failure. They come from people around you who've discouraged you in the past, or who have negative attitudes or influence on you today. They come from your fear of others, your fear of what they'll say if you become different. All of these people, or rather, the thoughts of all of these people, are filling your mindscape and create a strong energy field that prevents you from having the faith to realize your dream. So your mindscape is full of people giving you positive and negative energy, helping you or stopping you from achieving your dreams. Some of these people are people you know. Others are people that you've never met in person. Maybe they're alive or maybe they lived in history. And others are purely imaginary. But even those who are real people are largely imaginary in your mind. You don't know everything about them. In fact, you know very little about most of the real people you know in your life. And those people aren't physically with you most of the time. So much, and maybe even most, of how they appear in your mind is imaginary. And yet, there they are, mentally present with you in your mindscape, and sending you positive or negative energy. So what are you going to do? You want to enhance the presence of those who empower you and give you positive energy, and you want to reduce the presence of those who are dragging you down. Of course, you want to do that in the real world. You want to spend more time with those who will be companions, role models, and teachers to inspire you, encourage you, and help you. And you'll want to spend less time with those who are drawing you down. And you want to do that in your mindscape. You want your companions, your role models, and your teachers to have a greater place in your mindscape so that they can empower you all the time. Let the positive energies be greater than the negative energies. And when you're full of positive energies, they will flow out and transform the negative energies in your mind and in the world around you. You'll have strong faith, and your faith will inspire and give strength to others.